Let's try a little thought experiment. Forget shrinking to the size of an ant or even a tiny grain of sand. Today, we're going all the way down. I mean, all the way down to the size of a single atom. So you might want to buckle up, because where we're going, the rules of reality as you know them, they completely fall apart.
And just like that, poof, you're there. The world you recognize is gone, and you're in this totally alien place. You are now smaller than a beam of light itself. And this isn't just a change in size, it's a whole new set of physical laws. So what's the first thing you notice? Or maybe I should ask, what's the first thing you don't notice?
Okay, so your first and most immediate problem is that you are completely blind. You can't see a thing. And I don't mean it's just dark. I mean the very idea of sight just doesn't work for you anymore. And why is that? Well, it all comes down to a really simple and, for you, a pretty terrifying problem of scale. See, for you to see anything, little particles of light, called photons, have to bounce off of an object and then enter your eyes. Simple enough, right? But now, the whole scale is completely backwards. You are incredibly infinitesimally small, while a single wavelength of light is like this impossibly huge wave. It just passes right over you. It doesn't even notice you're there. It's like trying to detect a tsunami using a single grain of sand. It can't work.
It's a fair question, right? If the very things that make vision possible are now too big to even interact with you, what does that leave you with? Is there some other way to, perceive this bizarre new universe?
And the answer is, well, it's brutal. You see absolutely nothing. Just a profound, total blackness. You're just floating in a void, completely blind. And trust me, from here, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
Okay, so being blind is one thing. That's kind of a passive problem, right? But now we need to talk about the active threats. Because this silent, dark universe, it isn't empty. It's actually a chaotic, incredibly violent shooting gallery. And you are the main target.
These are the new rules of the game. You know those tiny little protons that are the center of an atom? Yeah, to you, they're not tiny anymore. They are massive, high-speed projectiles screaming through the darkness. And the electrons? They aren't little dots neatly orbiting around. Not at all. They are these weird, blurry clouds of pure probability. You don't know where they are, only where they might be. And if you happen to be in that spot when one decides to pop into existence, well, game over.
So you're basically trapped in the middle of a cosmic firefight. Lethal projectiles are whipping past you constantly from every direction imaginable. And here's the kicker. Remember, you're blind. You have no way of seeing them coming. You just have to hope you're not in the way. Okay, but let's move on to something even more basic, like, just staying alive.
Let's talk about something we all take for granted. Breathing. That simple, automatic thing you've been doing your entire life? Well, you need oxygen to live, but down here in the quantum realm, the very air you need to breathe is now an impossible obstacle.
To put this into perspective, a single molecule of oxygen, two little oxygen atoms stuck together, is now the size of a gigantic, impassable boulder, maybe even a mountain. You can't absorb it, you can't breathe it in. Your body is just not equipped to handle matter on this scale. It is just way too big.
It's really the most fundamental question for survival, isn't it? You are literally surrounded by the one thing you need to live, but you have no way to access it. So what do?
And the universe doesn't give you a clever workaround here. The answer is, you can't. You just can't breathe. So you're blind, you're under constant bombardment from atomic particles, and you're suffocating. And just when you think it can't possibly get any worse, we leave the world of physical horror and enter a total breakdown of logic itself.
All right, just forget about survival for a minute, because now we're diving headfirst into the true weirdness of quantum mechanics. This is where things go from being physically impossible to just philosophically terrifying. And to make things even crazier, you're not alone down here.
That's right. Your friend Chase is here with you, but he's not doing so great. He's gotten himself caught up in one of the most famous and frankly mind-bending principles in all of science. He is trapped in a quantum state called superposition. So what on earth is superposition? Well, it's a core rule of the quantum world. And what it means is that before you measure or look at a quantum object, it doesn't exist in just one state. It exists in all of its possible states at the same time. Think of it like a coin spinning in the air. Before it lands, is it heads or tails? In the quantum world, the answer is, it's both.
Okay, let's walk through this, because it's a real mind-bender. First, since you haven't actually looked at Chase yet, he's in superposition. Second, this means he is not alive and he is not dead. In a very real physical way, he is both alive
and dead at the exact same time. His existence is just this blurry cloud of possibilities. And third, the instant you observe him, the second you look, reality is forced to pick a side. The superposition collapses, and he will instantly become either 100% alive or 100% dead.
So this is the ultimate question, and it completely messes with our everyday logic. Our brains want a simple answer. He's got to be one or the other. But quantum mechanics, it says no.
The answer is simply yes. Is he alive or is he dead? Yes. He is both. He is a walking, talking paradox right up until the moment you look at him. And the craziest part is, this isn't just a fun thought experiment. This is how the universe actually works on its most fundamental level.
And that's really the big takeaway from this whole terrifying journey. This bizarre, nonsensical, logic-defying world you've just been exploring, it isn't some science fiction fantasy land.
And this is the most important part. Everything you see around you, the chair you're sitting on, the air you're breathing, the stars in the sky, it is all built on this foundation of complete and utter strangeness. The solid, predictable world we think we know is really just an illusion. It's the average result of trillions upon trillions of chaotic quantum events. Deep down, our reality is every bit as weird as your friend Chase being both alive and dead.
And that's the question I want to leave you with. If the foundation of everything is a realm of probability clouds and living dead paradoxes and utter chaos, then what does that make the solid, predictable world we think we live in? What is our reality really?